Is this thing on?
All right, let's get this show on the road. Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to episode number
99.
nice, yeah.
Welcome,
All right.
welcome.
Back again one more time.
Hit me,
What
baby,
is
one
going
more
on,
time.
Alec?
Doug, you start. Do you want to talk to me? What do you
I
got?
don't know. Do I want to talk to you? Well, I don't know how much I talked to you last week about.
Talk to you. That's the whole premise of the podcast, dude.
Let's just end it now. No, it's good.
The final episode. Again.
I was very slow getting carving last week after I did something, and I can't guarantee this is what I did, but I felt like an old man until I remembered what I had actually done, because I thought for about 3 days I could hardly move my shoulders, like right in the joints that just hurt to move.
Hate
and
that.
then I remembered what I did, and I think I just pulled my shoulder muscles. I have these signs I have to change all the time, the highway sign, and they're 4x8 sheets of aluminum, and they're 1/4 inch thick, and I was carrying two of them to go take them out to the road to change, and it was windier than windy, and I was fighting, and I turned around, and a gust grabbed them, and I like a kite in the air.
Oh.
And as soon as I did that motion, I thought, that's what I did. Holding on those signs, fighting the wind, I popped my shoulders or something.
Wow.
So anyway, I was very slow getting going, and but I got going eventually. But the first thing I did, I talked about the snowmen last week, and how I had abandoned the idea of doing these little snowmen because they look so.
Wait, can I just say, from YouTube, from a YouTube standpoint, this week was a week of doing the unthinkable. 2 projects that you talked about not wanting to do. You did them, and they were awesome.
Well, I changed them so I could live with them.
So you like them more, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but these are cute enough, and but I had done a dowel snowman like a year or 2 ago, and they were tall, skinny ones, and all those dowel projects that I made up back then, I wanted to translate them into the 1x1 series anyway. So I thought that's the perfect time to do these tall, skinny snowmen.
So cute. Yeah,
Right?
so good.
And
so folksy looking.
Folksy. Tall and skinny. There's something about tall and skinny. And I think they're kind of cute.
They're so good.
Very easy. And so I made that video. But I also, for my own sake, I grabbed another piece of aspen and did the old one more Santa before.
These are my favorite ones. These aspen Santas that you do.
I have so much fun with aspen.
I wish you'd just make a video, like a silent video carving that Santa. It'd be fun to watch. Relaxing, no talking.
I want to.
Can you do that next week? And then post it before Christmas? Silent Santa carving.
I did have an idea. Do you remember last year I did a bark carving of Santa with the chimney, the full-length chimney behind the Santa? I kind of wanted to recreate that too, but
was that in bark? Are you talking about the bark thing or no?
I did it in bark last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I liked, but I didn't videotape that at all.
Right.
So I thought it might be a fun video too, just for Christmas.
Yep.
Right. But these are fun though. But I already did this kind of face. Well, basically, it's the same idea as a little block, right?
Yeah, but even better.
I know.
It is.
But we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to get done this week yet.
Isn't it funny when the camera's off, stuff gets better? It just does.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like a 20% better carver with the camera off.
Oh, let me tell you something with the camera off.
Right.
You probably know this from day one, but I had no idea. Spotify asked me out of the blue, "Do you want to use the DJ?" And I said, "What?" And they said, "Do you want to use the DJ?" And I said, "Sure." And all of a sudden Spotify goes, "Hey, Doug, how you doing today? Here's some music that is right up your alley, and you used to listen to it a long time ago, but you haven't been listening to it lately."
Right.
What the heck?
Yeah. I love that. We should cue it up right now.
That that
Hey
DJ,
Google,
don't let it.
play my DJ.
You'll be copyrighted.
We'll delete the song.
Got it. Playing the Spotify playlist called This Is DJ Mix.
No.
No,
Stop.
no.
Google, stop. Sorry about that, folks. So there was a break there.
You put that $1.50 we're going to make on Jeopardy.
Doug, it was $2.50. It's Christmas time. The CPM is
right.
high.
Better
It's $2.50 each for each of us.
It wasn't a DJ playlist. It was an actual
Understood.
AI DJ saying my name, like saying, "Hey, Doug, how about this?"
It's so cool, isn't it? Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that. That's a cool feature.
It must be. Is it new? I don't know.
It is. Yeah, it came out like a few months ago.
Oh, but anyway, don't play it.
I'm not. I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to remember it. And look at the first song it pops up.
I'm not. I can't read it.
It knows me well. It's Lightfoot. It's Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, yeah. I can't.
I'm not saying. That's a good song.
Anyway, so that was video number 1 and a little bit of carving. But in between all of this, I think maybe Friday night, I got a little slip in the mail that I had to go to the post office.
Yeah, so let's go.
Wait.
Those are awesome. The old cowboys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know who this. Yep. I know.
You know where this is from?
Yes. Actually, I wouldn't have guessed from those two, but that third one, that's the giveaway.
I got a package from my hero, Gene Messer. Sent me some carvings.
Let's
I'm
go.
So tickled. So, Gene, if you're listening, a huge thanks to you. And
yeah.
I filled the box and turned it back the other way. So hopefully,
can you hear the cheering?
No, I can't.
Oh,
but he won't be as excited as I am for sure. But anyway, very cool. You just ended the recording.
No, we're still on.
There's no timer.
Oh, it's on for me.
Okay. Normally I can see the timer going. There's no timer.
Oh, I guess that's what I get for trying to put the clapping thing on. But no, we're still on. We're still good.
Okay. No. Yahoo. Okay. But anyway, then my last little thing.
Sorry, I put it back on. No one, you can't hear it. So
crazy. So then, like you said, 2 videos I didn't want to do. The tree. I did I don't even have it. Sophie's got it upstairs, the original tree. But I didn't love it. I just didn't love it. But then I got thinking about the idea and all the ways I could do it differently. And I went ahead and made a whole forest of trees.
So cool.
So very different, fun, very abstract.
I love that.
And I had a really
way you represented the boughs.
A really fun time. And when I did it in the video, I showed you. You could make any size; it doesn't matter. So now I have a whole varying heights of trees, and I said in the video that I'm gonna have to make some little tiny little cabin to nestle in the trees or something. But
Bob
really,
Ross
they're just props. Yeah, Sophie said you should wear a Bob Ross wig and say, "Today we're gonna carve some little trees."
Happy little trees, yeah.
Happy little trees.
Yeah.
But a happy little tree. But this is a happy little tree.
Oh yeah! Whoa, that's a scary little bit. Scary. That thing is awesome, but it's like many of our carvings, a little spooky.
Anyway, so I'll keep talking about this tree video because for the first time on camera, I cut myself.
How?
I've been using this Pinewood Forge Harley knife. Real quick story about
what does Pinewood Forge mean? Is that his company?
That's the company that makes it.
Oh,
Pinewood Forge makes the Harley knife.
I see.
So this is like made for Harley Repsol. his style of carving, like flat plane carving and whatnot. But I got this one and
Is that a thinner blade?
this one. They're actually not the thinnest blade, but for
Okay.
some reason they're rounded enough that you can really sweep them because the spine is round, so it's not
Right.
But anyway, I hated this knife. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it when I got it.
Yeah.
In fact, I never used it. And like I said, I've had these for a couple of years, and then I couldn't look at. They come with Kydex sheaths. This is really nice.
That is nice. That's
Really,
trick.
really nice.
Not a lot of knife carver companies do that.
I forced myself to do a couple projects with them, and just by making myself use them, I was like, "Oh, I really like this knife." Once I got used to it,
Right.
I started loving this knife. But this is a 2-inch knife, and I always use like a 1 3/4. That's my go-to is 1 3/4.
Right.
So I have an extra 1/4 inch on this one, and I'm holding those little trees, and I'm not wearing my glove, of course. And I poked myself, and it wasn't a big cut. It's no big cut. It's just a little poke right there.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I knew it would bleed, so I stopped the video, put my glove on, and said, "Okay, I just stabbed myself." But,
Yeah. Right.
So I had to wear the glove in case it bled on the carving.
Yeah.
But the funnier part was, after the video and after I was done, I was looking at it, and I'm sure you won't be able to see this, but there's the one little stab cut here, but all the way up here, there's about 14 more slices that didn't break the skin.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
And I was
remember
like,
when I carved those presents underneath for the Christmas tree?
yeah.
That was the most asinine idea I've ever had. They were like 1/4 of an inch by like 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
I cut my finger. I had all these lines like that running all up and down my fingers.
Yeah. Well, your skin's like leather on the palm of your hands, so they just never broke the skin. I just kept slicing. But I'm telling you, I've been doing this for how many years?
Yeah.
With 1 3/4. I
10?
don't know. Oh, probably close to 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm used to 1 3/4. The extra 1/4 inch, it just was enough to get me. So anyway, I always tell everybody wear your glove. So that was a good reason to tell people that you do need a glove.
Yep.
But you could have. I don't know. Maybe that stab would have went through a glove because it was a stab.
Stabs do
not a
go through
slice.
gloves.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's the problem. People think if you wear a glove that you're bulletproof, and most of the gloves that you have, unless they're leather, they're stitched together, and that blade will pierce the fibers that go in between the stitching or the knit, and it'll still cut you. You can still stab yourself.
Yep. But anyway, so that was my little side story to that video. But I had it was worthwhile making this video. I really I liked it, and I didn't want to do one tree and just have. Today we're gonna carve this tree. It was kind of cool to have
like
the
me,
whole,
like me.
1, 2, 3,
I did
4,
that.
5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 of them. Right?
So cool.
I have a little forest that I can, but they're just props. They're just props. So if you look at the thumbnail of the video, I played silly with them and had little people peeking behind them and stuff. And so,
penguin. Yep, I saw that.
A penguin and a little Santa Claus and a snowman and whatever. So yeah,
there's a great example. Those right there, those trees. If you hold those up. Those boughs, they're fairly simple in terms of the amount of cuts that you use to make them.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a bunch of hairline detail of all the little nettles in the boughs.
So the one that I didn't like, I used a V tool and shaped all the boughs with a V tool. Right. And I love this far more.
I think that is just so much better the way that you did it. I mean, it's such a great testament to simplicity is ideal.
But
because it's great.
If you watch the video, the way that I did it is just so strange, but it worked. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't. There's no symmetry.
Right.
It's just.
Anyways. Yeah, well, that's best. Nature doesn't have as much.
That's what I said. If
symmetry.
You've gone to pick out a Christmas tree this year, you will know darn well that there's no such thing as a perfect tree.
Yeah, there you go.
So, right. And I think I did show a couple of examples of, like I had turned this before. Well, that's ridiculous, right? That's not a Christmas tree, but it looks
That's
like
fun.
it's fun enough, but it's
I
not.
like that.
It's
Yeah.
not real. What else did I
It's
show? Oh,
it's a table decoration though. It's cute.
yeah. But, I talked about how when you chainsaw carve, I probably threw the sheet out. I showed we used to scallop them, like a shell, and then
Sure.
the center
Right.
two, and then one.
Yep.
And
Right.
again, you have the same perfect tree.
Right.
So this was just random. So enough about the tree.
No, worth every second, because you did something there that I think is so important to note. It's design. It's a really beautiful design. It's asymmetrical. You've got the lean, which I love the idea of having the trees. Some of them stick straight, but then in nature, snow pulls the boughs down, and I see pine trees all the time that are cockeyed.
Oh yeah, yep. So
Why not?
In the snow, but I said after, like, you could, the base, if you really want to get creative, you could just take that base and make like some roots over a rock or whatever you want to do.
You could get crazy.
Or once you have the idea of the tree,
Mm-hmm.
like say you do a Santa and bark, then you put a couple of those trees down the, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something to add. So anyway,
nicely done. Very, very nicely done.
there you go. But it was fun. It was really fun, and they're so fast. So
Yeah, that's cool. I want to try that.
I'm going to ask you what you've been up to, but first I'm going to thank Matt and Edmund. Matt and Edmund are our coffee heroes of the week. Woo-hoo! Thank you guys.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. It's I think the Merry Christmas wishes came with them, so Merry Christmas to you too. So appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, guys. What are their names? Sorry.
Matt and Edmund.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Edmund.
So,
Coffee is fine over here.
so
Oh,
What's
mine's so
going on?
boring compared to yours. So boring. Should I start boring or start fun?
do you know fun?
I've never had fun in my life.
All right.
I'll start boring first.
Okay,
I hate
start
to-
boring and then
I hate
build
to do that.
build to the excitement.
We're gonna have
I'm
such
excited.
a climax.
I'm excited.
Such a boring climax.
I'm so excited.
I like the climax. So as far as boring stuff goes, I spent the first 3 days of my week sitting at my desk, writing up a plan for a wood carving workshop.
And that was the secret of last week.
Yes,
The
which was
big
dumb.
Secret.
It was dumb. It was dumb because I launched the workshop on Friday, which is the day that we launched the podcast. I hadn't pieced that together until right after the podcast. I hit end, and then I thought, that was stupid. I'm launching in 2 days. Yeah.
Did we launch the podcast on Friday or was that Thursday?
For those of you that don't know, I launched the podcast early last week.
That was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it was 2 weeks ago.
Was it-
And we had a guy who commented saying that he was bummed because
That we
he
slept
wakes
in.
up. He
He'd be
wakes
so
up.
he'll be so mad when he realizes he has to go to work the next day again
I know.
because it's not
He had
Friday.
Dude, I feel you, guy. I do the same thing. I get all turned around. Well, obviously, I posted it on Thursday, so I'm right there with that guy. No better, but
I messaged Alec. I said, "What day is it in your world?"
I stayed up until midnight because it's editing that. Because I got home from church and we had this youth group and we all went out to eat and this whole fiasco. I'm like, oh, I forgot to post. I went in the shop. It's like at this point, it's like 10:30. I'm in there trying to render it. It's annoying. But
then the next week, what happened?
okay, so this week,
Oh,
I've been-
now we're up to this week. That's right.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So I have been doing this web stuff, just sitting at my desk, building out this website and then a web page for the surprise, which is it's a I call it a wood carving getaway. It's here in this shop. And it's a 3-day workshop.
Well, that's
And
not
it's-
much of a getaway for you.
Not for me, but for them.
Oh, for them. Oh,
Yeah. I would like a getaway someday. That'd be kind of nice.
I'm going to stop you there really
yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take a getaway. Someone has to hold me to it. I'm going to try to go to the Rockies next year for the Colorado wood carving show.
Ooh. I'm playing the cheers right now, the cheer button, but I don't think it's
hear it.
working.
Yeah, I was talking to the guys the other day, and I was like, "That sounds like a lot of fun." Sorry,
You should.
carry on.
Yeah, you should. You deserve it, man. You work way too hard, and so there's got to be a Sabbath, right? There's got to be a day off. But and I was reading something. My wife recommended this book to me that it talks about that, and you saying vacation isn't a vacation if it's like for 2 days, because it takes a full 5 days just to get to unwind. And so by the time it's 5 days in, you're just starting to relax. So you need an extra week. You need 2 weeks a year, is what he was saying. I don't do that, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't recall the last time I've taken more than a week off.
Right.
So
right. Well, and they've got it right in Sweden. We can talk about that more.
Yeah. Please, you finish your story. Yes.
I mean, that's it. I mean, so just sitting at a computer, typing out this whole plan, kind of designing the timeline and the structure of the class, and just dreaming. Just dream. Like, what's the ideal workshop look like? If it's going to be perfect in every way for the student, what is that? What does that look like? So I was doing all kinds of research. I was looking at other people's workshops. I was trying to figure out, what people do and how I can pirate some of their ideas and other artists. Yeah.
But you sold out.
Yeah. It filled up. The class filled up. It took over the weekend. It filled up by the beginning of the week. So I was happy with that.
So they're all going to camp out on the floor in the workshop, or are they going to go back to hotels or?
Yeah, so there's the option to camp, but the parents are gonna have an Airbnb in their basement, and they're not but 15 minutes out north of here, so that's an option. And then there are 3 cities nearby, right? 3 fairly sizable, medium-sized towns. So they've got options of hotels over in Rochester, and there's stuff elsewhere. But so that's that. That's what I was doing, and very excited to get that going. I'm looking forward to that. So
that keeps you home. And
yes. Well, that's
you said
the thing.
You don't like traveling that much anymore.
Yeah, I'm okay with the idea of traveling in the future potentially. I don't know. I don't know what's to come of that going forward. But I did a lot of traveling. I traveled to do art shows when I was a teenager, and then going into my 20s, I started traveling for teaching. And, I traveled to teach in my teenage years as well, but I had enough of it, man. It's a lot. So those of you that know, traveling for work it can be a lot. And so it's no joke. I mean, you're setting up your workstations, you're setting up everyone else's workstations, you're providing materials, and you're just going hard, 10 hours, 12 hours a day. And then the trip back, and then you do it all over again the next day, and you just go on this whole string of workshops. And traveling has a certain way of, driving has a certain way of kind of getting you tired. So this is a way for me to still, have something to offer to the people who want to have an in-person class, but also to make it more personal. Since it's my space, this space is literally from the ground up. Every board in this building was erected with a dedication to carving. So the idea is get people in the zone, get them into the workflow, get them into the plan, the vision, all the way from the first day, which is kind of design and roughing out, to the second day, which is, the bulk of the material being done, the carving part, to the last day, which is like a half day. It's like a 9 a.m. to 12 type thing. We refine, tighten up details, and then we'll ship them out at noon.
All right. Just for my own curiosity, is everybody going to carve the same thing?
No. So, yeah, I honestly, I used to be more of a stickler for that. Everyone's on the same page, but the more experience I got, the more I felt like, a lot of the principles of symmetry, all the lecture, if you want to call it lecture, at the very beginning of the class, all that stuff applies.
It won't matter what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, it applies. Yeah. So that's why I want to spend the first day just coming up with the design and getting a good sense of what people's expectations are for the class, and what they're trying to do. So,
well, that's fun.
But don't get me wrong, I will have a thing ready if somebody wants to do something, they can. But otherwise, I'll put them up to something. It's not like, yeah. So anyway. I'm getting this weird notification. How do I get rid of this? There it is. Teleprompter. Interesting. So that's what I've been up to. Aside from that, 3 of those days were that, and then the last day was, or the fourth day was cleaning up, organizing the shop, just getting things situated in here. It's been nice to get it to a place where at least mostly ready for that class, so that it's respectable in here.
When is the class?
Mid-February. So I'm way ahead.
You'll be cleaning up again before then.
It was more about organizing.
Yeah.
Because I had just redone the shop on this side and just threw it together.
That's what we talked about last week. When I did the cleanup and change things around, it was like a reset, and you're a refocusing.
Yes,
I do that all the time. Even the little things that just change your perspective. So yeah,
it feels good. No, it felt like a waste of time at first, but then the more time I put into it, the more I was grateful that I did it. So yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so there's that, and then I worked on the deer a bit, found some problems with it. Still haven't started on still just focused on that head, just working on, I thought it was looking good. I was real happy, and then I took a video of it, and I looked at the video on my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a kid's drawing of a deer head. There's no subtlety; it's just all round. It's no shape, no form, no bone structure, no musculature. So yeah, I had to go back through and add all this shape and detail, and it's much better. It's looking much better now. So,
do every time I listen to you talk, I think how happy I am just to be a whittler.
Yeah. Oh, so my life is so terrible that whenever I talk about it, you just go, "Oh God."
No, my brain cannot handle such a ongoing project.
Right.
I just like to pick up a little piece of wood and bang, 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 done.
Oh man. No.
Of course, the food on the table isn't coming from my whittle.
Right.
So
Right.
there is that.
Sure. But no, to your point, I had. Okay, let's cut to the fun part because I could talk about the other stuff. But I ran. Do I run in the house when I finish a bark carving? What's the answer to that? No. Never once do I run in the house with a bark carving going, honey, look what I spent the last 7 hours on. Never.
Yeah.
But I
Hold
always.
that up again.
What, this thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so and I like it.
Yeah, it's very simple. There's nothing complicated about it.
So I was
looks like a heart on the back.
It is. Is it flat? It's hard on the back?
Mostly. A little bit of shape.
I'll have to watch the video because, like I said, folks, this is a really blurry back and forth until we watch the fully rendered video. But, so you ran to the house to show your wife and said, look what I carved.
And she said, I know just who that's going to go to. I said, oh, okay, well, I liked it while I had it. So it's going to my grandma-in-law, if that's such a thing. So, but she lives in Florida. So anyway, go ahead.
So there again is that.
The elongation. Yeah.
Tall and skinny.
Yep.
Or just stretching things out makes me think immediately folk art.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know if that's the right use of folk art, but that's just what pops into my head. It's folky. It's not really real, but it is,
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah, no, that's true. I liked it. No, and this was just I had to fit it all in a 4-inch block because that's what most people can get access to on Amazon. And so that's why it ended up being long. But no, you're totally right. It has a folksier look to it. But that was a week highlight. This week's highlight. But then, of course, frittering quite a bit of time away on this. I did, at the end of the day today, I did kind of feel like a little bit sad to see it go because I've got to send it out soon. But this was a fun.
Oh, I like that.
Green Man. Lots of oak leaves and kind of a take on an order. It was a commission based on another one, but this one's just a little bit less flat. That was the goal.
It's a big piece of bark.
Yeah, it is. You can see. It's big.
Oh, I'd love to have a piece of bark like that.
Well, you pay for it. So that's that. That's what I was up to with this, and I tried to give him I noticed that the commission that the guy wanted was kind of some happy, Does it come across as a little bit? Is there some of that in there? It's kind of hard to tell.
Like I said, it's a little bit blurry, so I can't
Yeah.
give you. His eyes are open, obviously,
Right.
yes.
Right. Does he look happy, Doug? Oh,
I
his
can't-
eyes are open.
I can't see it clear enough to.
I know. I was just teasing. But yeah, no, he's It's very rare that I make a carving and I go like, yeah, I could use. I kind of want to keep that. I could, but that one I had fun with, and I kind of
That was the question last week.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yes, so that was that, and then really, look at this. Speaking of big bark pieces, look at this one. Not to show off, but look at this.
I think you're showing off. Where do you get a piece of bark like that?
Isn't that crazy?
Or
Look,
where
as
do
big
I
as-
go to get a piece of bark like that?
Montana. That's where it comes from. Yeah, I got it from a friend who's out there who used to supply.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's got to be 5 inches thick.
Yeah. Well, it's at least 4.5 inches thick. Yeah, it's thick.
Okay,
Maybe
4
4.
3/4.
it's
Whatever.
thick, no doubt. But so yeah, so it was a good week. You know, do you feel this way? The only thing that you consider productive in your life now, as a carver, is the actual carving. It's like if I do anything else, if I'm editing, if I'm filming, if I'm organizing, it all feels like time frittered away, unless I'm getting something carved. I don't know why I can't shake that.
You know what? I kind of know what you're saying. I kind of feel that way wrongly about the video. Because
Yeah.
like I carved this just for myself. But then I was like, okay,
Oh, that's sad. That's so cool.
right? Like I didn't make a video. No one's gonna see it. I took a picture on Instagram, I think. And
Right.
now what? Now it's gonna sit over here, and that's it. So I always feel like the video is the product now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't, that's a terrible. What a horrible way to live.
I don't know. Just different. Not any worse or better.
I guess it's not about me. It's about the carving. So that's fair.
Yeah.
If it was about me, okay. That'd be different. But,
What is that thing that we did when we were kids? Like this, you know. Wait, can I even do it?
yeah. I was thinking more about the vloggers, like, oh, look at me, look at me. Here,
Right.
I'm at this restaurant, you know. But no,
I know what you meant.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But that angel's really cool. I really like that too. And like again, simple, small, and you just got excited about it. But people have been after me to do an angel, and I always said I want to do an angel with a nativity scene. But I don't. When it comes to fall, people start saying at the end of November, December, you should do a nativity scene. Well, you don't make that in one video. So that's like the next 5 weeks of videos, one piece at a time. So I think I decided that because I do feel guilty for not doing a nativity and like just doing so many Santa Claus faces, although I like doing Santa Claus faces.
right.
But I think I'm going to carve it, make the video. Summer sucks for videos. So
Right.
I think I should just do the carving parts with my hands at my desk in the summertime, have it all ready,
Yep.
and then just put out a whole nativity series and something like that. But yeah.
That's a good idea. Bank it away and then have it ready.
Yeah, because nobody watches carving videos in the summer anyway. So just make them. Just use that time and
I like that.
plan ahead.
Yeah. I like that idea.
So,
Yeah. So that would be a wild project, wouldn't it?
What's that?
That'd be a lot of elements. That'd be not a small thing.
I wouldn't do too many. Like I wouldn't do every barnyard animal or anything. I just do the main 3 pieces and an angel or 2.
Sure.
Or wise men.
Right.
Or 3 wise men. Maybe a star. A little stable.
With a face in it, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna have-
Over here. It's a star.
like that. Yeah. You found it.
Maybe I'll just do the star. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little hand on one of the parts.
Those little
Pointing down.
emoji hands with the pointing finger.
Yeah, right.
He's over here
Yeah. All right.
to the
I like
east.
that.
Okay, that's enough.
How far can we take this?
Yeah. So that's your week.
That's it, man.
That's
That's
it.
it. But we were talking about something that I wanted to push into this part of it. What was it? I can't
Well, I
remember
was
now.
talking about, before that. I was talking about using these knives, and you were saying that you were ordering some tools for the
Oh, I was telling you
classes.
off air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to order 4 sets, just have an extra set, but of the 5-piece, a 5-piece set that I order from Stubai, which is Austrian knife company that is very, very good, and they're going to hopefully get those to me before the event.
That would be nice. Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'd like that. But then that got us talking about tools and your knives, and then beginner stuff, and talking about, like, we've touched on this before a little bit, right?
Yeah, we have. But I was just saying that these knives, Pinewood Forge, someone said he was retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a chance this week to order another one because he only makes them in batches. So he may not make them again for 5 or 6 months, but he had a batch. And so I had a chance to buy another one. But then you were saying that you had purchased a bunch of tools. So what is the basic tool set that a student would use? As a student, I come to your place. I don't necessarily have my own tools, but you're going to provide me with what?
A number 4 or 3 or 2, something in that range. It's just a shallow gouge that you're going to use for clearing material, and then getting the big planes, the big surfaces cut in.
So like a 1 inch?
So like a 1 inch, exactly. Yep. And then we're going to have something in the mix that can excavate. And in the same sense that large number 4, number 3 clears out big time flat plains, we want something that scoops out aggressively big swap, big areas quickly, like eye socket, under the nose, big separations.
That's a number 9?
That's it. So that could be a 9. That could be.
Let's play a game. You just describe them, and I'll guess the number. Now, before we go any farther, Stubai, is that the one that has changed all the? They're about one number off.
They're 1 number off. So I always say it the Stubai way, but it's actually shallower. So it's actually an 11 in Stubai is actually a 10 in any other company or most other companies. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So bear that in mind. But I will do I'll do the converting. So I'll just say it the way it is.
Converting. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry.
So that number 9. This
I don't
is
want
very
to trouble you with such complicated math.
This is bark centric to start with, right? So it's not the size is you're going to go with like a 15 mil,
right?
For bark.
Exactly. Yeah, 15 mil. Anything between, say,
even 20.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, 12 and 20 is fine. 12, 13, 20, between that range.
Yep.
And then again, that's to get big areas out, scooping things, and then something a little bit smaller. Then I kind of graduate on down with the same shape. Sometimes it's beneficial to say, can I afford to make this a veiner? And then just start with a veiner. It usually is more expensive, but if you can afford to, that 9 being a veiner, the next one down. So let's say that's 6 millimeter. 6 to 10 millimeter veiner, which is just a 9.
You're
with
talking about number 11.
holes.
That's a number 11.
That could be a 10. That could be an 11. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Or a 9. It's okay if
Can you get a tall sided 9? I don't think so.
No, that's what a veiner is. It's a tall sided 9. Yep.
So that's the number 11.
That's an 11. Yep. And then a shorter one right in between the 11 and the 9
is only an 11.
or a 10. Or a 10.
10. I've never seen a 10.
Okay. Yeah, they're I think Swiss Made does it. So, yeah, just so we have an idea of where we're at here, I'll just pull them out and show you. I'll show you where we're at so far. So we've got the big clearing tool. This is a bigger one. So ignore that. The fact that this is 1.5 inches. Here's that.
Yep.
This is like 1.5 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So slight curve. 15.9. So it's Scoopy guy.
Yep.
Kind of big. Here he is next to my hand. Fairly sizable. And then here's this is actually a 10. So speaking of 10s, I don't know if
Okay, I made a video on tools the other day, and a month ago or whatever, and I have never seen a 10.
yep. So I don't know
There
if you
you
can
go.
see it, but so this is going to be good for, if you're doing portraiture. I'm referencing faces because that's what mostly we like to do. But, there's a lot of other applications for these tools that we're using for relief carving. I think it's a good set all the way around, but I specialize in the face stuff. So
Yeah.
bear that in mind. I'm not going to be the guy to talk to if you want to find the best tools for relief carving. So this guy is super helpful for really starting to get shapes in, defining the separation of the mouth, the under part of the eye, getting underneath the nose, sharpening the separation from the nose and the upper lip, the philtrum, all of these finer tuning details. So you're going to start to use this more and more, maybe 50% through the face carving or the portrait carving. So once you've done that, towards the end of your carving, you know where all the shapes are. You really want to punch in deep. You can use a V tool for that.
Yep.
And
what degree do you like?
This is actually probably a little bit steeper than a 60. It's a real
70.
Yeah, it's a real deep V, but a 60 is fine. I use a 45 occasionally, but it's nicer to have a little bit, the 50, the 60 degrees, a little bit nicer to kind of sneak in between areas if you're undercutting a leaf or something like that. But the V tool is necessary. You've got to have a V parting tool if you're going to play in the gouge realm. And that, again, so punching in deep wrinkles or really separating the upper and lower lip or opening up the eyelid, you can use the V tool for that. Upper and lower lid. And then maybe this is controversial, I don't know. But instead of a knife, I used to say a knife. It's skew.
Okay.
Yeah, the skew is, to me, it's just every bit
I'm with you
of
now.
a knife and more.
You discovered the skew a year or two ago. You started using it more,
Mm-hmm.
and even then I was like, I don't have any use for it until I started using it, and now I love it.
Yeah,
like skews are great, not for my handheld stuff, but like for the faces and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and the reason for that is that when you've got a knife and you say for instance you're working on a big project like this or a piece of wood. Say I want to cut an eye in, right? This is not a good example. In fact, I could just pull up the carving off the wall here. I don't want to pull my microphone because I'm chained to my mic by my headset. But so if I want to carve into this eye over here, I have this whole blade that's at risk of bumping the bridge of the nose. So I'm trying to carve over here. I've got a whole blade that's at risk of damaging all sorts of things that, because I'm not paying attention to it, I'm only paying attention to the tip of that blade because I'm only trying to get the tip of the blade to work. I am incidentally butchering other parts of my carving. And I can be deadly aware of my surroundings and still make that mistake
for sure.
On the regular, I've done it for years.
So I'm not saying I'm not going to use a knife ever because I'm still going to use a knife. But think about what a knife is for.
Yep.
A knife is for holding in your hand, carving something in your other hand.
Right.
A knife is not made to work on a wall.
Right. Yeah.
That's where the skew. You think about the set. They don't come with a knife.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Because that's how whoever it was Europeans or whoever designed the tool set.
Yep.
And we always say Europeans use a lot of skews.
Yep.
But we don't really. But think about a knife. A knife is made to hold in your hand to cut something in your other hand, not to work against a wall. When you think about it like that, it seems silly.
Yeah, like you're saying, you can push more power and control from this, but then also just on this one little point, I mean, this is just one reason why. This is not the only reason. This is one reason why. But when you come in here and you've just got this end that's sharpened, it's basically a flat chisel but with an angle carved in it. I can come along and I can detail this all cut the eyelid, cut the lower upper, clean things up. I'm not worried about the base of this chisel bumping into things.
No, you can cinch up on it and use it just like a pen.
Yep.
And just use that cutting edge too. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it's a game changer.
it seems so funny when we're talking about it now. How it's just common sense,
Right.
but it never really clued in before,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, and what you're saying is so true. You've got the extra control because the left non-dominant hand, the controlling hand, can resist the power hand, the drive hand, and you can really get
Yep.
precise, even more precise, more easily than you can with a knife. Because this is kind of awkward, what you're trying to grab onto this, or it's a little bit
Yeah.
less ideal. So knife is still good. I still use it. I still
Yeah, that's
use a
what I
knife
said.
on my bark carvings.
Yeah, I said I'm not going to say I'm not going to use a knife, but when I think about it or say it out loud, it does seem odd to
Right.
have a blade that you're only using the tip of anyway,
Right.
because you can't even get it close enough to use it as a knife.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So those are the first five. If I'm going to add something to it, did I say five? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. If I'm going to add something to that, I'm sorry. If I'm going to add something to the base set, which is excluding this. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is the next tool before I got the Vayner, if I already had a knife, I wouldn't get the skew. I would say backpedaling. Get a 1/4 inch number 9, 10, or an 11, a Vayner
Yep.
or a 9.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't want to nitpick, but I want to talk about this because I was always under the impression that a 9 was a 11 is a high-sided 9,
Mm-hmm.
but not true. I
Mm.
mean, close enough, but not true. 11 is still a sharper U than a 9, hence the number 11. So the Vayner comes in just because it's the high side, but the 11 is still a steeper curve than a 9. If I go, these are
Yeah,
both
because the overall. Yep.
because the 11 is a steeper curve.
Right.
But just by chance, we call this a Vayner because it has high sides.
What are the two measurements on those tools?
These are both
What are the
7
two
millimeters.
widths?
These are both 7 millimeters.
7 millimeters. Can you
And
show them side by side?
if I put them, you can see
Yep.
it's a steeper U.
Yep.
If I punch that into a piece of wood, the 11 just by
Yeah. You can see
just
it.
by
It's
it
clear.
being a number 11 is a steeper.
Right.
Like a 5 is not a 9, so it's still going up in grade, but it does have the higher sides.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I
It does
kind of
depend
wish
on the. Yeah.
a 9 or a 7. I wish some of them had higher sides.
Right.
Why only 11?
I think that might be I might be wrong. All of you guys out there in the wood carving world, you could be onto something there, but I think it's actually a manufacturing thing. Because I think
file only makes 11 with
I don't
high
know that
sides.
it's only file, but I think there are companies like I'm trying to find an example. Here's an example. Can you see that? It's just a 9 with tall sidewalls.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not
I do see
super
that.
narrow.
Yeah, I do see that.
So a lot of the tools I'm using are old.
Okay.
But that's good to know. That's good to know because I don't know that I noticed that with Swiss Made that they were actually narrower.
Yep.
But you know who else is like that is
Well, not narrower because of the.
well
nothing is
it
narrower
tapers
because
differently.
different taper. Yes.
It tapers differently. It
Steeper,
tapers
steeper. Yeah.
It's closer to a V tool.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to know. That's not unimportant. But yeah, really the gateway drug for us was this, right? Because you have one of these now too. I sent you one.
You sure do. I love that one. Yep.
This is called what is this called? A hook skew? Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
And that was the gateway drug for me, getting into the skews. But anyway, so those are the 6 tools.
So I was super hot about that one. I still am, especially for rounding eyes and stuff.
Yep.
But the straight skew for the actual eye
It's easier to use, isn't it?
is easier to use.
I agree.
So and I'm just learning all this stuff as with practice. You kind of
Yep.
learn what works for you, and
Yep.
you're not just taking someone's something for granted that you were told.
Yeah.
So as you practically use them, you learn, and that's what it's all about, I guess. Hey,
That's it.
don't teach what you don't know. I should say it to myself.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Well, to be honest, I've learned more from teaching is I learn as much or more than my students do when I teach. So almost every time. So
there you go.
yes,
Oh, that's a good little tangent there.
yes. My goodness, it's already been an hour almost. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, do you have any media? But you have to introduce the media or we can't do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Bing, bing. It's a waste of time.
It wouldn't be the Coffee and Coffee Show without it.
Oh.
I'll have you know, mister, the people demanded more wood carving as we came back this year. Wood carving, more guitar playing. The people love that.
Do you know what I learned? The squeaky wheel does not always get the grease because of one person saying it.
Yeah.
And there's only one person that said that.
That's cruel and rude.
You tell your mom next time she writes in.
Cruel, rude, and true. I don't appreciate any of that nonsense. But media, you want to start it out, or do you want me to go?
I will happily start it out, but my media is very simple.
All right, let's hear it.
Inspirational, some would say. Last week it was inspirational, so I'm laughing at myself. But
yeah, true. I was just thinking too.
I signed up for a class with our singing friend Ryan Olson.
Oh, cool!
In January, a little Zoom class for carving quirky women faces.
Ooh, that's a good one to take from him.
He calls the one girl Butter. She's beautiful, Butterface.
Butterface.
But they're all quirky female, and I just want to learn from him on a small character style.
Yeah.
A woman's face, because all my women look like men. But anyway, I was just looking at Ryan
I don't agree
Olson's
with that,
stuff.
by the way. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay, the one that you helped me with looks like a woman. Is that better?
Sure. That's not true either. I've seen you do others that look good. So.
Anyway, so back to Ryan Olson. I posted this on my community post and on YouTube, and the title gives you absolutely nothing. But I'm going to try and find it here. What did I post? Doug Linker, that's my name. Yep. What's my channel? On my community post, view your channel, I did a thing from Ryan Olson, and the title is only Ryan Olson. This is through the Wood Carving Academy YouTube channel, but it says Ryan Olson, March 2021 Wood Carving Workshop, first 10 minutes. But his first 10 minutes has nothing to do with wood carving other than giving you a spanking about stop comparing yourself to others. Do the best you can do. Be proud of what you do.
That's good.
Don't worry about what anybody thinks about it. This is for you. This is your carvings. This is for your enjoyment. Don't ruin it. There's always going to be someone better than you.
Yep.
So don't think you have to be, he just goes on for 10 minutes and just gives everybody a blast. And it's fantastic. I wrote on the post, I said, who doesn't need this? So, but the title doesn't pull you in because it doesn't say anything. So you have to start watching it to get his little spiel there. But I really like that.
What is that one called? Sorry, again, remind me.
On the Wood Carving Academy YouTube channel, they only give you little snippets because they have a school that they're trying to rope you into. But it says Ryan Olson, March 2021 Wood Carving Workshop, first 10 minutes.
Nice.
But his first 10 minutes is just a rant.
Nice.
It's fantastic. Very very encouraging. So,
but he's an encouraging dude.
He is. He was on the International Association of Woodcarvers on Saturday, and he did a woman, a spinning ballerina Christmas decoration. It's really cool.
Wow, that's
really
cool.
neat. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't been watching much other than people building fairy houses in the bush, and I don't know why I like them so much. But people making these little villages. Little fairy houses and stuff.
Yeah,
out of
funny
natural,
you bring that up.
Out of natural materials, not some goofy thing out of cart, like real, like natural material little, just like a couple weeks ago, I talked about the acorn people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of the same idea, only the fairy houses or little gnome houses
Right.
with moss and bark and the little windows and lights and stuff, and it's super cute.
It is, and I talked to a friend at church 2 days ago, whenever Sunday was, and he was saying, have you ever thought about doing architecture? He's an architect. Did I say that? Didn't, no. And he was saying you should do that, like a building, And I thought about it, like, yeah, whimsical houses. I've done that, lighthouses, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess why not? Why not do like a realistic approach with some whimsy? But why not do like a church steeple? So I've been thinking about that, mulling that over lately in my head a little bit more.
This is one of the first things I ever carved with bark, and I could go so much farther with it.
Right. Yeah, and that's awesome. Yeah.
It's not much. It's very simple.
No, it's
nice. Really fun. For myself, I should do more of that because that's where my brain already is. Like you have faces and expressions, right? But I have building and houses, and I can see, slopes and angles and stuff more where you can see expressions and how people look. But I have the history of building houses, so I know what a house does and how.
Yeah.
Right? So that
what
would
an asset.
It would be very easy for me to do but I don't mean easy as in pull it off every time, but I understand it better.
Yeah.
Like proportion wise, I guess. So.
Right.
But I should do more of that too because I like it too.
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. So maybe in the new year we'll have to commit to doing a little bit of that.
Look at. I'm gonna stop you before you go on about your thing because Michael Coaster emails us. And he says, "Here's my idea for a coffee and carving show."
Wait, no.
Okay, finish your media then. We'll do it bass backwards.
My media is Wrangler Star. Done. Okay. Media.
Okay, beloved.
Yeah. He's a little wacky when it comes to anything other than the preparedness stuff, but he gets wacky with the preparedness stuff. But anyway.
He's different, eh?
He is. Yeah.
He's different than he was 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I watched him way back,
and
he was very common sense, practical.
And
now he's changed his whole shtick, and he's doing well.
Yeah.
So I think he just he was declining a bit, and then he just switched things up, and now he's climbing again. So good for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. Media. People love this.
I know they do. They do.
Don't you dare try and mix this.
They also love the dad jokes, right? Yeah.
They do. What happened to those?
I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
Michael Coaster, whatever. Sorry if I say it different, but my idea for one of the coffee and carving shows, you both could try to carve the same object, but with different approaches. That's what he says. Or you could carve different objects at the same time and comment back and forth.
Yeah.
Laugh and joke. Well, I don't think we could carve at the same time this way.
No laughing. Definitely no joking. But
No.
No joy.
But that's his idea. He thinks we could have a lot of fun.
What an imbecile! No, it's a thought.
It is an idea to carve the same thing.
Could be fun.
There's only one other thing. Ronnie just wants to let me know that Gene Messer. We talked about that cardinal. Did you read that email?
I don't know that I did.
So
yes, I did.
The cardinal and the dowel.
Yep.
He's just saying, I don't know if you're aware or not, but Gene Messer did it into a 1x1 stick. So yes, I did know that.
Okay.
But I'm still going to do it myself to get it into the 1x1 series. At some point, I still want to redo this cardinal in the 1x1 series.
Very good.
That's the mail. There was no mail. That was it.
All right. Well, it is. You know what that means?
That means that's a year.
Wow. 2023 in the books.
We are not coming back for a bit. If at all. We're definitely taking a good break, yes?
Absolutely.
We didn't talk about this at all.
No. Let's flesh it out now at the end of
Let's
the
flesh it
podcast.
out on air, yeah, because I only told you I was coming back till Christmas. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Regardless, we're
Let's take a
off.
break.
We'll take a break. Merry Christmas, everybody, and a happy New Year. Oh.
Take your vitamins. I don't know how to play that.